Before I start, I do want to tell you that there is a question box. You can ask questions during the webinar. If they pertain to what I'm talking about at the time, I will do my best to answer them. If they do not, no problem. We will just do that at the end of the webinar. Bitrix24's cloud service is an intranet and collaboration platform with what we call classic intranet tools like tasks and project management, online documents, document sync and sharing, calendars, along with various HR functions. It also has a CRM. Many of you are here probably because you're using Bitrix24 primarily as a CRM. And then, of course, Bitrix24 has a very large number of communication tools for inside the company and outside the company. Things like the chat and video, so chat, group chat, audio chat, video chat, up to 4 people on video inside the product, a telephony module that allows you to call outside of the project, and then several other things, including an email service. Bitrix24 allows you to create your own email addresses, which you can use and link up and see, I would say, inside Bitrix24. Now, it is also true that you can link up your existing webmail accounts and see them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to what the product itself looks like. When you open up Bitrix24, you're going to get a screen that looks something like this, with the activity stream going down the middle and a personal workspace here. Please bear in mind that that is a personal workspace. There is a create button here from which many different activities can be launched. You have your own profile over here, and you have some gadgets over here to help you know what's going on with your tasks, upcoming events. If you are an administrator type, then you will see this invite users. If you have not yet invited anyone to the Bitrix24 that you just created, you're going to want to use this invite users. Come in here, invite somebody to go ahead and mark some department, and you can also invite them into your work groups immediately. Okay, so I do that, and then I just start adding emails here of the people that I want to have join. And it says, please join me in our new intranet. Right? Now, of course, you're going to need to warn people what this is, because they're not going to understand what that invitation is if you just send it to them without having warned them otherwise. The activity stream is perhaps the most important part of Bitrix in some ways. It is what you look at the most, I would be willing to say. The activity stream is access sensitive, so I'm not going to, my name is not Danny White, but I'm not going to see anything that I don't have access to. Okay, I do have access to the things in the group called Expo Booth. Okay, there's a work group over here in the extranet, actually. We'll talk about that a bit later. And there's a message over here from an extranet user. Okay, he's actually not even an employee, he's an extranet user, but I can see a message from him in here because it is my activity stream. Here you see that he actually was just brought in to the extranet. Here's a post from this user. If you have a photograph in a post, it just pops up like that. Okay. If you have a video link, you can play videos inside the activity stream. CRM items. Here's the start of a discussion. Files. Let's find something. Here's something to all employees. Okay, that includes me. Okay, and so you can filter these Okay, everything that, for example, everything that I've put in here, or all the announcements, we'll talk about that. And you can also mark things as favorites, and then they will show up under your favorites filter. When you are posting something in the activity stream, in fact, this post form is much more than simply a way to start a discussion. First of all, you can choose who you want to talk to. Okay, so I can come in here. I can put names. I can start typing. Let's see. Do I have anybody that begins with J-O? I don't. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. That guy, Runcible Jack. All right. I can choose to whom I want to send it. I can send to entire groups or to entire departments. After I select who I want to send it to, I can decide, if I want to make an event. Okay. I can create a poll with questions, as many questions as I need. And I can also make an appreciation, say that, somebody here, that guy deserves that, okay, for example. Okay. Or I can, have it be just a regular message. Okay. I think I will actually choose the announcement type because that's almost the same as a regular message, but it shows a little bit more functionality. This is important. Okay. I can, there is a text editor here, so I can use colors and links and, draw attention to something that's important if I so desire. And then I can also upload files right from this form simply by coming over to my file manager, Windows Explorer. I can just drop a file right onto that. Okay, and then I can say, okay, should these people be allowed to edit the document? Yes. Okay. I can if there's a insert into text. If this were a photograph, for example, that would be what I would want to do most likely. You can actually create documents right from here and have them be stored inside Bitrix24. I'll show you how that works in a moment. What we do is we borrow a document editor for that. Okay, so it can be Google Docs or it can be the MS Office Online. I'll go ahead and send this. So I'm sending an announcement type message, okay, in the activity stream with my selected group, and then it comes up as an announcement, and you can see that I can say, okay, I have read that, and it'll start tallying who has read that, who confirms that they have read that announcement. Oops, don't need that. Once I've got this document here in the stream, I or anybody else can actually just click on that and go ahead and I don't think I'm going to wait for the preview. I'm going to go ahead and load up the document. Oh dear, this looks like I'm not quite sure what this document is. I just kind of okay. Oh, this was a post that I had written. Okay, so I can actually start editing. Okay, now please note what I'm doing here. Changes made. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm actually borrowing the editor from Google Docs. I'm borrowing that. I'll go ahead and close that, and then where's my? There's supposed to be I'm sorry. It looks like here. Let me do that again. Okay. Okay. It did indeed save it. I guess usually there's another step I'm not quite sure how I managed to have that do that. Okay, but I borrow the Google Docs editor. I make my changes, and then those changes are put. Yeah, see that? I must somehow have clicked on that incidentally on the other monitor. Okay, so now it is. I can actually change that now. Now, if somebody else does that, it will actually show up. You know, if it's a different user, it will actually show up as a comment on that post. Okay, because I'm the owner, I've got that. It didn't create another comment. Okay, so you can actually, you know, have several versions of the document as people are changing it and making their suggestions. Now, obviously, you can do that in a document library as well. Collaborate like that. Here at the top, just one other feature, the time clock, the clocking in and clocking out, that is only available in the Pro version. Now, everything that I show you that is not in the free version will be noted as not being in the free version. Okay, everything I've shown you up to this point is in the free version. Okay, clock-in is not. Okay, the daily plan though, you can make a daily plan in the free version. When you do this, you can actually pull in tasks from your task list right here and put them onto your schedule. I obviously need to remove some of these from my task list so that it's not quite so big. Yeah. You can create a quick task here, and the same with an event, and this will be put onto your calendar. Again, that's not everything in here is in the free version, but much of it is. The search in Bitrix24 is kind of a glue element. One of the big advantages of Bitrix24 is that you have so many of your tools all in one place. Tasks, documents, CRM, discussions. All of this stuff is in one place. And that means that your search does employee profiles. It does the conversations in the activity stream. It does CRM objects. It does things like I'm not exactly sure where that is. That might be in a discussion group, and also wiki items. Okay, items, articles in a wiki. All manner of things that are in your Bitrix24 are going to show up there. Now, these suggestions come from the titles, but if you go for all results, then you will get, you will get whatever you'll get whatever the results are. Okay, French didn't have any particular suggestions, but you see that there's one person who has. Well, we'll open that up. You'll see that got French in the skills. Okay, and then just a moment, and then these documents. Okay, so you're searching the documents and the contents of the documents. Right? So a very powerful search, and powerful not just because it is technologically powerful, but because you've got almost your entire business in here. All of these things are in one place and reachable by a single search engine. Okay, moving over to the workspace. Suppose I want to look at my tasks here. This is a view of my own personal tasks. Okay, and you see that there's a list down here. I'm actually looking at the Gantt chart. Let's move it over to the list view for starters here. Okay, you see that I've got a list of tasks. I have some grid functions. If I need to delete a few or change the creator or whatever it is that I want to do. the options here are going to vary with the user's permissions on that task. Okay. I've also got a time tracker. Okay, so I'm working on this task now. Now I'm going to work on this task. It's going to warn me. Okay, do you want to switch over to that task? Yes, I do. All right, so now I'm working on this task. Okay. I can edit. I can close it. I can change its status. Okay, add it to the daily plan. That's the thing up there at the top. And then you have any work group tasks, any tasks that you have that are inside a work group are in a section, in a separate section. Okay. Now, very important here. Up here at the top, these buttons are actually filters. Okay. So here I'm looking at ongoing. Okay. What does this mean? This means I'm responsible and I'm showing tasks that are in progress. Okay. And then here I can, I can change all or me. I've got some options under here. I can look at all my completed tasks. Okay, if I wanted to do that. Here, these are tasks where I am as you can see, I am not the responsible person in most of these. I guess on one of them I am, but that's actually the parent task of one of the others. Here are tasks that I have assigned. Okay, red means they're overdue, so that's not good. And then, very important, the all button. Okay, all is very important because under all, you can open this up and you can get to the extended filter, and you can filter by various things. You can say, okay, I need tasks where she's responsible, but I want ones where she's responsible and they are complete. Okay, and that were active between this date and that date, for example. Okay, you can make a very specific filter under this all button. All right. Let's go ahead and create a new task. When you create a task, when you open up a task, you usually get this form. As you can see, there is a full task form. We'll get to that in just a moment. Suppose I need to move offices or something. Right? So I put in the name. I assign a responsible person. I can put a deadline on it. Okay. And now, if I open up the full task form, you can see that I can actually duplicate the task and choose multiple responsible persons. So, I'm going to need a lot of people. It is only one task, I suppose, but a lot of people are going to be, kind of involved in this, pretty much everybody actually. But I'll go ahead and create this. And what this will end up doing is it'll end up creating four tasks that are grouped together, but they're actually 4 independent tasks. Okay, time planning. I'm going to track the time spent, so that means I'm going to have that little play pause button that we saw. Oops. And I'm going to say, this is going to take a long time. I'm going to say it's going to take, like 2 working days for each of these people. Let's say. All right. Do I want to add it to their daily plans? No, that's okay. Okay, I can put a checklist here. Like order boxes, pack, coordinate with shipper, etc. Okay, so I can start putting in a checklist there. I can associate this task with a group. Okay, a work group, project group, workspace. All of these things are the same as far as Bitrix24 is concerned. As you can see over here, we use the word work group. Okay, we could just as easily have said projects over here. If you're coming from a different product, you might, like I said, it might be a workspace, It might be something else. I would hardly endeavor to try to name all the options. Tasks, of course, can be repeated daily, weekly, like all of that. Obviously, we're only going to move once, so I don't need that. And they can be associated with CRM items. Generally, you're not going to use that. If you have a task that is associated with the CRM item, you're probably going to create that task from the CRM in a pop-up menu like this, which is accessible in many places in the CRM. Okay, so I go ahead and create that task. And you see, so here I've got 4 different tasks now. See that? Okay, and these are going to behave independently. I mean, this person might, get the first 3 items on the checklist done immediately, or might change the deadline or whatever. I don't know, but those are going to be different. Okay, so here you see that I've got the 4 tasks all underneath there. Okay, now I'm the responsible person kind of for the top task. Okay, that's kind of how that works. If I go under set by me, you'll see that here are these 4 tasks, and they're in the marketing and advertising group because I associated it with that group. All right. Very quickly, I want to show you reports. Let's go ahead and reports in Bitrix24 in the CRM or here with tasks. And once again, this is in the free version. You're getting this for up to 12 people if you have the free version. Okay. You can edit the report. So I actually added this column here with the estimated time required. Simply by going there and saying, please do show that column. Okay, but the main thing about this is you can choose the various columns from the tasks, then you can choose what filter options you have, and then you can get the time spent, which oftentimes that's really what you want. You want to know how much time have you spent doing X, or how much time have you spent working on projects for client Y. Right. That's a lot of times with the task. That's what you want to know. This estimated time required can be very useful as well, because you could create a reporting period for example, for next week from here to there, and you could say, and then you could oh, I don't have the responsible person here as a field. You know what? Let me do that. But what I'm saying is you could find the responsible, how busy a given responsible person is, over the next week. So right, person responsible, full name. Okay, is equal to, and that's fine, just like that. Let's save the report like that. Okay, and so now here I've got this responsible person field. Okay, I guess I should have made that a select field rather than just a regular. But at any rate, the point being that you could filter for the person and then check the estimated time for his tasks over the next week, and then you'd say, okay, can I load this person up with something else, or had I better find somebody else who can do this instead, because they just don't have the time. So that's the task module in Bitrix24. Okay, question, how would you show how much time is spent on a particular client? Several things. For one thing, we're just getting into work groups now. A work group itself might represent the work with a given client. Okay, in which case you would simply, put in here, okay, like, it's that. I mean, suppose that was like client A instead of office supplies contractor. You just do that. Also, there could be There could be any number of naming conventions with the tasks themselves. Like the name contains name contains client name. Okay, something like that. Generally, I would recommend creating a work group for the given client. That is the best practice. That is what most people do. Many people do. Well, here actually you can see in the extranet, I've got some clients here. All right, so I would just filter for that. Let's go ahead and I don't want to go to that. I want to go to work groups. So work groups are like a miniature intranet, really. As you can see, you select the number of people, some group of people. You have moderators. You have one owner, moderators, and then members. This is where your access permissions inside the work group come from. All right, so the owner might be able to do some things and other people are not. In fact, going over here to actions, I can show you very quickly. I can invite people to the group because I'm the owner. If I go to this group parameters, okay, as you can see, I can make this group visible to all or a public group. Okay, I can move it to the archive, in which case I could go back into the archive and activate it again. I could move it to the extranet and start inviting people who do not belong to my company. No big deal here. You can turn features on and off if you want. Generally speaking, it's not a big deal. Very important here, though. Who can invite users? I don't want other people inviting users to my group. I will decide who's going to be in the group and who's not going to be in the group. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that like that. Okay. The other thing worth noting under the Actions button is the Features settings. Let's look. This is where you can really see. I'll take tasks because tasks are kind of the most. Oh, you know what? No. Well, okay. Tasks are useful. You can understand how this works. Viewing tasks, viewing all tasks, creating tasks, editing tasks. Who can do that? Everybody. All the members, some of the members, or just the owner. Okay. But with conversations, it really is. It really is quite granular. Viewing posts, obviously, you generally want people to be able to view posts. You want everybody to view them. Who can create pre-moderated posts? Okay, okay. That's probably a misname, meaning that they need to be moderated. Okay. Who can create posts? Oh, okay. Okay, no, I guess that would be without moderation. This would be with moderation. Okay, because they're the same. There is no moderation on the posts. Okay, but then so we have posts here, and then we have comments. Okay, so there are two different things. A post, of course, is a new topic. Okay, so deciding what we're going to talk about. Then after that, once you get into the comments, you've got another set of access permissions. So this really might be an important thing if you have some very important discussions that very much affect the dynamics of a given group. If this might be out in the extranet. If you're running a YMCA or some kind of community center like that, where you can invite any number of people into your extranet. If you have the paid version, the extranet only comes in the standard and the pro, but you can invite literally any number of people out there, and you can have very constructive discussions. And using this, you can make sure that the discussions stay constructive. Let's go back to the main page of the group. So each group, like as you see, has its own set of tools. File storage, task list, calendar. It has its own activity stream, just like we saw in the front. And then with the files. you have the option to connect it to my drive. Okay, what does this mean? It says connected to drive. That means I'm already connected. All that means is that the marketing and advertising folder, the whole thing, is accessible to me from my drive. There it is. Okay, and that is significant in that I can then use the desktop app, which I'm not going to cover, sorry, but we do have a desktop app, much like the Dropbox desktop app, that allows you to create a local synchronized version of your files, so you can be working when you're offline. And what that means is that I will have that synced with my desktop app, as well as having it conveniently conveniently available here instead of searching down in the work group. But the big thing about that is the desktop app. All of these document libraries, drives in Bitrix24 are about the same. I mean, each group has one. You have one. That is to say, each user. And the company has one. You can create as many files as you want. When you have a particular document, you can perform various functions on it, like what we saw in the tasks. You've got grid functions. You can select. Anytime you see a grid like this, a table like this in Bitrix, the top button selects everything you have on that page. And okay, there is no bottom button here. I'll show you that in the CRM then. The bottom button selects everything on all pages. Very quickly, over here, there are not the access, but the various settings of this library, particularly with business processes. If you want to have business processes, you come to this configure thing and you hit that box, and then you will be allowed to have business processes on your documents, which we will not cover in documents. We will cover that very briefly in the CRM. So suppose I want to create an event, okay, and invite people to it, right? And suppose it is for the marketing group, right? Tomorrow. Okay, so this is going to be a big event. Okay, I'm going to be occupied at that time. I can actually say that I'm going to be away from the office, and that will add that event to the absence chart, which is one of the features, but one of the HR features that we have. Okay, I can open up the full form here, put in a description if I want. Let's look at the More tab first. I can have a recurring event and things like that. I can associate it with a CRM item if I so desire. The important thing is this. Okay, I'm just going to add, I'm going to add that, but I'm going to, he's in the marketing group, and then Victoria. Okay. And I'm going to look at the event scheduler. Okay. Oh, actually, as you can see, I got everybody. I got everybody anyway in the group. Okay. As you can see, some people are busy at certain times. Okay. This person must be like out of the office entirely. Here. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, it's from the absence chart. So that person's just gone. And so I'll go ahead and create the event for this time block. Yeah, I guess I can just come up here and put 60. All right, and well, I can. I guess I want that. Okay, so 4 o'clock. Starting, I didn't, there. All right. Let's get that right. Okay. And so there, now, as soon as I do that, I save that, invitations are going to go out to everybody that has been invited. Okay. And then I'll have, people will accept the invitation or not. And then I will be able to see who can attend and who cannot. Right? Calendars in Bitrix24 basically do what calendars are supposed to do. You can create, whether as a user in your own calendar, you do have your own calendar. Okay, you can create additional calendars. As you can see, the marketing and advertising has a bowling night calendar. Right, that's something I just added right there. Okay, picked a color, chose a name, etc. You can provide access permissions here. Let me pull that back up. When you provide access permissions, that allows a person to view it in their favorite calendars, okay, meaning that they can display that on their own calendar grid, all right, or not. So you can create different calendars. You can share calendars. You can share calendars. Actually, here, let me go ahead and go into mine because I do have a Google Calendar right here. I've got my Google Calendar here. I can create an event, and I can choose to have it be created in my Google Calendar, and it'll go straight out to my Google Calendar and be visible there. Likewise, it is dual synced. If I create something out there in Google, it'll come back and be visible here. Right? You can export I wouldn't say export. You can sync any of these calendars from up here to your Outlook, meaning they will be visible in Outlook. And then with your mobile phone as well. For that Google Calendar, it was out here. You click on, I'll do that again, click on the little gear settings, configure external calendars, and since Google is rather popular in our day and age, the instructions for the Google Calendar are right there. All right, let's get to the CRM, where we don't have a lot of time. CRM is a big thing. Let's go ahead and start with the activity stream in the CRM. I actually kind of want to get them to change that just to like a stream or something. Stream just very much the same principle as what you saw before. If you have permission to see something and something happened, it kind of comes up and you can see it here. Here's a new lead, and here I changed the name of the lead. Okay, and there's a meeting, and there's some other stuff that's been going on. All right, activities. This is arguably the most useful thing when you're first coming in and trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing that day. Come in here, you look at activities. It says you got 4 things. You go to this deadline thing, and you figure out what's coming up here. Okay, I don't have anything that's okay, so here's my here, how about like my current activities? Let's see what that's maybe a little bit more. Okay, so these are ones that are not yet completed. Okay, and as you can see, this one's kind of overdue. That one's overdue. That one's tomorrow. That one's on Sunday for whatever reason. And here's another one. Now this looks like it was created automatically by a business process or something. So there is where you're going to say, okay, this is what you need to be doing. It's going to be with this, with this particular lead, or John Brown or Jacques Valentine, whoever, and then you can go from there. When you oftentimes you're going to be working from one of these tables. Lead table, the contact table looks the same, basically the same with some very small differences. You see, you've got, the same idea here. I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and work with leads here. In the CRM, you have you have these various buttons up at the top. This is a filter. Okay, this is not just a this is a pliable filter. Okay, I'm going to go to all open leads. Okay, and actually, the filter itself is here. Okay, open. What does open mean? Open means it's in any status except those statuses. Okay, I could actually create. I could put in some other, filters here. Was anything modified today? Okay, so now I'm looking at open leads that were modified today. Oh, look, there is one. Okay, this one was modified today. Okay, I don't really need that. What I need is, anything that's open right now. That's what's important to me. All right. So anytime you see this type of interface, you can click on that. Modify your filters. You can create new filters, give it a name, and then you start choosing those fields and setting the defaults. You can choose what columns appear. Okay. You can choose the order of the columns. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's put status over there. Okay. And you can choose. If I had a phone number here, the phone number obviously would be a bit wider, and et cetera. You have very, very tight control over what this thing looks like. So from here, I can say, okay, I'm going to have this. I'm going to say that this responsible is assigned. In fact, let's go ahead and view that lead. You go to the view detail page. Okay, here. I think I was already the responsible person. I just had not yet moved the status. Okay, so now I've got the detail page. In the detail page, I can look at all of the various fields. Now, in this view, please note that I can actually hide any of these things. If I click on that. Do you really want to hide this? Okay, actually I don't. If I want to unhide it, I come down here and I click that. And there are all of these fields that that I can hide or not hide. Okay, including my custom fields. Obviously, shoe size is not one of the fields that's commonly in there. I put that in myself. All right, so that is, that's what that button does. Okay, let's close that. And now we have my activities. As you can see, I've got my stream here, but more importantly, I've got my activities. Okay? So suppose I want to write an email to this person. Okay, I've hit email. This form pops up. His name is already there. If I have a template created for various leads, I can put that template in. It'll pop up there and say, Dear Thomas. Who's Thomas? Well, apparently this guy's Thomas. That's his name. And the lead's name. Oh yeah, see, the lead's name is Thomas. Okay, and you can with these individual emails, you can just pull data from the lead into the template. And that's how that works. Okay, and so then I can go ahead and send that. Okay, once I've sent that, you see that there is an activity here, okay, and I can see that here I sent this outgoing mail to that person. Thank you for your inquiry, whatever. All right, and so this is going to be how it works for for phone calls. Okay, but with this phone call I can log the time right now will pop up there. It is 7:45 where I am. And so I can log a call that I just made and say completed, or I can plan something for for a couple weeks from now, and call to close. All right. you know, plan that. Okay, and so now that's going to show up on my. Oh, I've already got one there, don't I? Yeah, I created that a little while ago. So here, I guess it would probably be better. Yeah, see, if I put the deadline like that, then it's a little bit easier to see. Right. Products, if the client has, if you know what product the client is interested in getting. Business processes, haven't gotten to that yet, but we will. And then history. History is also very good for when something has changed, especially like the statuses or something like that. I'd like to, I'll go into this edit thing simply to, let's do this lead name. Let's we'll call this Mr. Horner. Okay. Somebody said they had an audio problem, but it appears to be all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to leads, and let's see what happens when we convert a lead. Okay, we're going to convert a lead to a contact. Why would we do that? Well, because either we have sold the person something, or we have arrived at what it is they are interested in buying. We've consulted them enough that they actually know what they're going to do. Okay, so yeah, let's take this through. I'm working on it, then it's on hold, then I'm ready to give a closing call, and now I'm going to convert. Okay. So when I hit that convert button, what's going to happen is the system's going to take all the data from the lead and start creating a contact. All right. Convert it to contact. All right. I can add any other information that I happen to have at this point in time. I'm not going to do that. Available to everyone. That means it'll be available according to the CRM permission systems. If you uncheck that, it will be available only to the responsible person, and that's it. At this time, I can also create a company if I want. Okay, I could conceivably create this contact and associate it with an existing company. Okay, but in this case, I want to create a new company, fill in some, data about the company. The company's got about 100 employees, whatever other information, and then I can also create a deal. Okay, as you can see here, she was getting stump removal, the stump removal service. So that's been pulled in and put here, and look, that looks like all I need right there. Okay, so I'm creating contact. You have to create a contact. If you're going to convert a lead, it converts to a contact. Okay, but I went ahead and created a lead, a deal, and a contact. Okay, or I'm sorry, a contact, a deal, and a company. Okay, the company doesn't show up here because the company doesn't have Horner. But let's go ahead and open up the contact, and we'll see that I've got another detail page very similar to what I had in the lead. Stream, activity, deals, quotes, invoices, all of the things that can be associated with this. All right. So here's my stream. Okay. Here, a deal happened that was associated with this contact. Okay. And so here is that deal. I can open that up. Here are the various deal stages. I think I actually did give him a price proposal for that. I mean, I know he wants that stump, right? So, or he wants to have that stump removed. Quotes, haven't made any quotes. I can make a quote. Companies, okay, so he's associated with a company. Obviously, you can only have one company here for a contact. But if I open up this company, then you'll see that potentially I could add additional contacts to the company because, there are, it's entirely possible that you would have multiple contacts from a given company. Okay, so once you have converted your leads, you have this system that shows you the full context of the various interactions that you have had with the given person. All right. we do have videos here. CRM overview, CRM importing leads, that's a pretty important thing. Emails to clients, access permissions. We're not going to do that today. I highly recommend it because you're going to need it. Selection list, we are going to do that. Business processes. All right. Before we get to the sales funnel, I would like to show you that I have received a notification. I've received a notification that there was a conversion in the lead, Mr. Horner. Okay? How did that happen? Well, I set that up using a business process. Okay? So, a business process, actually, I might even, oh no, that's not the lead, that's the contact. Okay. Go ahead and open up settings in a business process is a workflow. Okay? When you have, here, let's go into here. You can create workflow templates that apply to leads, contacts, companies, deals. Okay? I have several that apply to leads. However, the auto run feature is only on one of them. Okay? I don't have my business processes just running whenever anything happens. Okay? But when something is when a lead is updated, this notify me upon lead conversion runs. Okay? Now what does that look like? Well, now this might be a little bit beyond what you were bargaining for when you came here today, but all this is a condition that I've set. Okay, so here for this condition branch, the settings are right here. It said the condition type is a document field, okay, meaning one of the fields of the lead, specifically the status field. Okay, so we're back to, is the status field equal to converted? Yes or no? Okay, if yes, go this way. If no, go that way and do nothing. Okay, so this fired, right? I got my message. There was a message to D. White. Okay, well, what kind of message? Well, the message was right there. There's a status conversion to converted. There was a conversion to converted from the lead, and you remember we saw the lead's name, the Thomas Horner. Okay, and so that's how that happened. Okay, now over here there are action blocks. Okay, now just in 2 words, what this means is that you can say, okay, once this has happened, send this message, and then let's do here. Let's set a task right here. Grab this task block and drag it in here. I think I let go too fast. There. And then we're going to say, okay, if you do that, then set a task. The task name is going to be this. I'm creating the task as some particular user. Okay, maybe it's that person. It doesn't matter. Okay, the responsible person. Let's say that the responsible person is going to be the task closed. No, not that. The responsible person is going to be, again, maybe just that person. Okay, you can create. There could be. I'd say hot values, meaning it could be the person who approved this step, or the person who created the lead, responsible person, etc. Okay, so you create a task. You can set a calendar event. Okay, you can do all manner of things that use the tools of Bitrix24. We can use the task module. We can use the calendars. We can, obviously, you saw we can use the notifications. Okay, if this person's not there, you can send an email. Okay, and so this is a very powerful tool that you can use in the CRM. You can use it in the document libraries. You can use it on lists if you have the Pro plan. We do have videos on youtube.com/Bitrix24. There's some stuff on business processes in there. So looking at the sales funnel, very quickly. You see that we've got all of this, okay, and we have the the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go see where these things came from, where these the names of these stages came from. The reports in the CRM look very much like the task reports. Once again, you can copy and edit these and set them up as you want. So you can report on deals, you can report on products, on leads, invoices, and you can also report on managers. Very quickly, I'll just show you what the managers report looks like. Okay, so you can see who's been doing what. Okay, she's been doing that, he's been doing that, okay, he's been doing that. All right, and then there's the table here and the totals. All right, very important part of the CRM, the settings. This is where you're going to make the CRM do what it is that you want it to do. Okay, you're going to get something like this: selection lists. That's the first item in settings. Okay, lead statuses, deal stages that we just saw in the funnel. This is where they come from. Okay, same idea with company type. Pretty self-explanatory. Very important to know where it is. Using it is not that tough. You got to know where it is. Right? Taxes, currencies, locations, payments, and invoices. You need to put in information in there if you want to create invoices, quotes, and things like that. All right. Access permissions. There's a video about that. The brief part of that is that you choose a user or group of users, okay, like the sales department. You give them a specific role, and then that role has specific access permissions. Very quickly, board member, okay. If you have board members, you want them to be able to see things, but you don't want them to be able to change things. So you say, you give them access denied on everything except read. Okay, so can they read contacts? Yes. Companies? Yes. Quotes? Yes. Can they add, update, delete, export, or import leads or anything else? No. Right. Okay, back to settings. Custom fields. You saw shoe size in the leads. If I create a shoe size field in the contact, then that value will go into the contact upon conversion. So you can actually create fields that will be sustained through the conversion process. Email integration, you can set up an email address like a Gmail. It has to be a POP3 server, okay, like a Gmail address, and you can use that, and your CRM will actually take those new emails and create leads from them, okay. Or it will, if it is a continuing conversation, okay, if it's a conversation that is continued from an existing lead or contact, it will append it to the given lead or contact, etc. Email templates, I showed you that. This will be visible to non-administrators, okay. Email templates, when you create a template, you choose what type of object, whether it's a lead, deal, contact, or company, and then you can start writing your text in here, and you can put in the various fields, okay, and those will fill in according to the data in the lead. Right. Okay, looks like that's all we managed to get through today. Wow, that was fast. I want to show you the company structure, because this is where you saw the access permissions with the departments, like there was personal and personal plus department, and also in the activity stream, you can choose a whole department. This is where that comes from. Okay, so this is something. It's also very good for people who have just come on board with the company, because they can see the picture, they can see where they work, what they do, and who they work with. Right. So this is a very important thing for integration of your company and integration of Bitrix24, because this is where the tasks and things come from. The service does come with telephony. You can use telephony straight from the messenger. You can use telephony in the CRM, and you can actually rent phone numbers from many different countries. Okay. And then with the email is unlimited. There's unlimited amount of storage in email. We get our email through our partner Yandex. We're very thankful to them. And you set that up here underneath your mail setting in your back. Okay, so thank you very much for